In the annals of Zimbabwe's post-independence saga, one story stands out, a story of infamy and audacity that would eventually etch itself into the country's dark chronicles. This is the story of Edgar Masendeke and Stephen Chidhumo, one of Zimbabwe's last executed felons. It begins in the mid-1990s. Stephen Chidhumo and his notorious accomplice Edgar Masendeke embarked on a criminal odyssey that would make them legends of infamy. Their reign of terror spanned Masvingo and Manicaland provinces, marked by a series of brazen armed robberies and chilling murders. Time and again, they danced with danger, eluding capture with nerve and savagery that struck fear into the heart of nation. Chidhumo wasn't just another name in the criminal underworld. He was a phenomenon. His name reverberated throughout Zimbabwe's streets and newspapers, turning him into a living legend. Public transport vehicles bore his name in garish stencils, and young boys in the dusty streets of townships idolized him, calling themselves Chidhumos with a reverence usually reserved for soccer legends. Yet, there was nothing romantic about this reality. Chidhumo was a robber, a rapist, a murderer, a grim figure captured in a police mugshot. His matted afro, he shows a cold stare at the camera, reflecting a life of violence and defiance. From 1991 to 2002, his name was synonymous with terror and daring escapes. His criminal exploits were theatrical as they were ruthless. He orchestrated high-profile jailbreaks, including a dramatic escape from Chikurubi Maximum Prison in 1997. This feat saw him and his accomplice breaking free amidst a hail of bullets and violence. Despite the horrors he wrought, Chidhumo became an iconoclast of sorts, his story resembling the anti-heroes of cinema. He captured the imagination of public, a dark figure whose name was spoken with a mix of fear and reluctant admiration. His life was a relentless chase between shadow and spotlight as he taunted authorities and delighted in his notoriety. Chidhumo's ride from a troubled youth to a criminal mastermind was enigmatic as it was tragic. Born to a farmer police officer and a karate practitioner, his early years promised discipline and respectability, yet his path veered violently off course. After his first arrest in 1991 for car theft, he emerged from prison in 1994 more dangerous and more audacious than ever, choosing a life of crime over the conventional path. His escape to Mozambique, a daring flight that only lasted 29 days. This added another chapter to his legend. With a bounty on his head and a new identity planned, Chidhumo's brief taste of freedom was cut short by a tip-off that led to his recapture. By 2002, at the age of 29, Chidhumo's reign of terror ended with his execution. His life, a cocktail of violence and charisma, left an indelible mark on the Zimbabwe's history, a tale that blurred lines between villain and anti-hero, forever enshrining him into the nation's collective memories. That was it for now. My name is Dr. Clarence. And you're watching TV7 Live.